called Waging War. It ain't no friend of me. Welcome, welcome, welcome again to another edition of Waging War on Mediocrity. Hey, I came in here. I wanted to pop in on New Year's Eve just to drop a few lines. If you're out there, say what's up to your boy. I'm starting to see the eyes. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining, Vaniqua. I know you've had an awesome 2020. I've been watching your grind and seeing the work that you've been putting in. I know your 2021 is set up for tremendous success. If you all would, if you're just popping on, give me about 30 seconds as I share this to my social media outlets. I'm starting to see the eyes add up. Where are the hungry? If you're out there, say something to your boy. Say something to your boy while I'm sharing this, because I love to see where are the hungry. Love to see the hungry. Let me share this to a couple of places right quick. And I'll be right back with you all. And I know this was kind of impromptu, but I did want to pop on, just break a little bread with you all for a brief moment. I promise not to be on here long today, although I think it's going to be information worthy of getting it a couple of times. So if you have not, go get your notepads, get your paper and your pencil. These are all questions that you're going to want to answer before going into 2021. I mean, I don't want to have you going into 2021 and not have the right information already jotted down. So if you will, go get your notepads. Please like, share, host watch parties with this. I know this was impromptu, but I know the people who are hungry will get to it. All right, real briefly, 5 questions to answer before you go into 2021. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be the person to tell you that nothing changes until you change. Nothing changes until you change. You have a changed heart, a changed mind. That going into 2021 changes nothing from 2020 if I don't have a new mindset that I'm attaching with new behaviors. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. There'll be a lot of people that will go out and make New Year's resolution, and that's all they will be is New Year's resolutions. There will be no feet to those resolutions. There will be no goals to those resolutions. There will be no 30, 60, 90-day plan to those resolutions. They will just be a New Year's resolution that I make in the end of 2020, and I'll be making the same one going into 2022 because nothing changed. Yeah. And your boy, the motivational teacher to the master today, I want to talk to you about these 5 questions, because if you answer these 5 questions and you go into 2021 understanding with your game plan and your vision written, have your vision, you made it plain, so now you can see it daily and run with it. Today is not going to be one where I'm dealing with your deity. Today is going to be all about your humanity. In order to function, we're in this world, but we're not of this world. In order to function in, although we're of, we got to be able to maneuver through this world system. We have to be able to maneuver. Although we live in the kingdom, we got to be able to maneuver on the world side. And today I want to come to talk to your humanity today about how you plan and how you maneuver and how you make moves and escalate through this world system, no matter whether you're working a secular job, no matter if you have a business, no matter what you're doing in your life. These 5 questions will bring you to a crisis of belief where I know what I need to do in 2021 to get the information, to get the results that I need. And it all starts with information. 5 questions to answer before 2021. Let me set this up first. Understand your mindset and you will understand your results. And these 5 questions are going to lead to help us to understand our mindset. They're going to lead to help us understand why we are for how we are. If we don't understand where we are mentally, we can never change where we are. The challenge with most individuals is they can never clearly articulate where they are at this moment in time. What's up, Elkie? Thank you for joining us. That's the challenge with a lot of us. We cannot clearly articulate where we are in this moment of time. And I say, which I'm not a 12-step person, but the first thing is to recognize that I have a problem, that I am a part of my solution. I am my solution and I am my problem. And understanding your mindset is the key to jump starting your 2021. Because if there is no change in mindset, what's up, Keisha? Thank you for joining us. If there's no change in mindset, our manifestation never changed. For the purpose of this video, as we talk about these 5 questions, mindset, our definition of mindset is a set of assumptions, methods, or notion held by one person or by a particular group. So a mindset of assumptions, methods, and notions. We're all going into 2021 with this. We're going into 2021 with a mindset of what happened 2020. It depends on how old you are. I came in 1978, so I'm carrying all my experiences from 1978 all the way into 2021. All of those are going with me. In order for me to be able to change what I need, the manifestation I'm looking for in my life, I have to be able to understand the mindset of which I have. That set of assumptions. A lot of times that set of assumptions is leading us to a point, a crisis of belief where we make assumptions based on the past. I remember Joe Dispenza saying, in order to change your personality, or your personal reality, you have to change your personality. And for some of us, that's changing those assumptions. For some of us, that's changing those methods. For some of us, that's changing those notions of what we believe about whatever we believe. We got to start challenging our own beliefs. And I love that statement, challenging my own beliefs, because my favorite book says sometimes we got to lean not to our own understanding. And a lot of times, what's our understanding? That's my mindset. That's what I've accumulated. That's what my environment has taught me to believe. Sometimes I got to lean not to my own understanding. All my ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct my path. For us going into 2021, I want us not to stay in our comfort place. I don't want us to stay in our comfort zone. I want us to begin to move and to lean not to our own understanding. It takes no faith to walk in your comfort zone. It only takes faith to walk in what you cannot see. We walk by faith and not by sight. That means I'm believing. I'm going farther than even my natural eyes can see. That's leaving that old mindset, and we're walking into something special. And y'all, I'm setting up these 5 questions so you can see the purpose or why you need these 5 questions. Because if not, a lot of us, we rinse, wash, and repeat our life. Our life is a rinse, wash, repeat cycle, and we're in this spin cycle, and we wonder why I can't get out. And some of us has been in the spin cycle 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and like, oh my God, my 2020 looked just like my 1999. Why is that? And we're 20 years in. Because why? We're in this cycle with this mindset, and we have never exited the cycle. We're like that hamster on that wheel, and we keep turning it over and over again with no exit strategy. Almost like going to Iraq. We have no exit strategy. And tonight I'm giving you 5 questions to help you exit the strategy. No matter where you are in life, where I've seen some success of what I wanted, or maybe I'm at the genesis of my belief that I believe that there's more, and I'm moving in that direction. No matter where you are in your crisis of belief, these 5 questions will help get you to the next level of life. Mindset. You cannot perform at a high level if your mindset is not equally high. If you don't have an equally high mindset, these 5 questions are not going to do you any good. You got to start challenging even your own mindset. You got to start pulling yourself to believe that my performance or my output is equal to my input. That if I'm not putting more in and making it actionable, my output will never change. Motivational teacher, I just wrote the 5 questions, but I need for you to see before I get to these 5 questions that if we go into 2021 with these 5 questions with the same mindset, I can't put new wine into old wineskin, then we're not going to change. I'm telling you, there's something on the other side of 2020 that is phenomenal for you and for your life. But if your mindset is the same old garbage in, garbage out, eventually even what the motivational Mondays and even these moments like I pop on, or moments where you listen to other people, those are null and void, because we're not making the information actionable. Faith without work is dead. Thank you, Vaniqua. We're not making it actionable, and we're walking around the same circle, having the same level of success, or you want to call it lack of success in our life. I was looking at a Gallup survey. A Gallup survey said that 86% of the workforce are just doing the minimum. JDTM. They are just doing the minimum. 86% of people, according to all industries, if you go on any job, there are 14% of people that are completely immersively engaged. They have a profound connection to what they do. 14%. Why are you sharing that stat with us, motivational teacher to the masses? Because it takes little to no effort for you to be exceptional in anything you want to do in your life. You have to just have a profound connection, because 86% of the people that you work beside, or 86% of the people that's doing the start of the business that you want to start, have no profound connection to what they're doing. Why is it so important, motivational teacher, that I get these questions? Because these questions are going to lead you down the road to where you find your purpose, or you find your niche in this market. Or let's say it like this, where you start operating in your gifting. And if you find an emotional connection to what you do, you automatically go to the top of that field, because only 14% of the people that are doing what you're doing have an emotional connection to what they're doing. What's up, Q? Being average is easy, ladies and gentlemen. I got to break bread. Being average, it's easy. I got to tell you right now, being exceptional, being above average is not as hard as you think. It's being emotionally connected to what I do. For me to have a great marriage, I have to be emotionally connected to my spouse and the growth of our relationship. It's not as hard. I just have to be emotionally connected. I talked about it last week. I got to have my head in the game. I got to have my head in the game. Me making a boatload of money, having more money at the end of the month to be able to do some of the things I want to do in my life is not as difficult as we make it. It's just me having my head in the game as it relates to my finances. It's not about how much money is coming in. It's about how am I managing the money that's coming in. Whether you work a job or whether you got a business, your emotional connection to that job and your value system to people is what drive your results. If I'm emotionally connected to what I do, I'm automatically in the top 15% that's doing what I'm doing. Malcolm Gladwell said it takes 10,000 hours to be considered an expert. Put your 10,000 hours in the area where you're profoundly connected, so you can have maximum results, or where your gifts are. I'm gonna stop saying gifts and talents, because talent is overrated. There are a lot of talented people that died with their gifts on the inside of them. Yep, Harold Miner, Q, you could talk to this. Harold Miner, they used to call Harold Miner Baby Jordan, because he looked like Jordan. He was athletic as Jordan, but he had the talent that Michael Jordan, but he never realized his talent that Michael Jordan had. Why? Because he wasn't willing to put the man hours in order to manifest his talent. Talent is overrated. Faith, oh my boy, I'm finna make some people mad. Faith without works are dead being alone. Faith, I shouldn't say it. Faith alone is overrated. Faith alone is overrated. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that, but it's so true. It's so true. Very talented, but didn't develop it. Let's stop talking about talent, and let's start talking about working in our gifting. These 5 questions are going to lead you in the direction you need to go. 86% are barely showing up. Their goal, their mindset is characterized by exerting the minimum amount of effort. Gerald Green is another one. He did the birthday cake dunking the slam dunk contest, all athletic and jump over the backboard, but couldn't develop a basketball game. Why? That's why. That's why. I got Vanico chiming in this conversation. I was in a bad place, listening to the multiple motivational messages, but staying stagnant in my situation, praying God would just save me. It wasn't until I took myself out of the situation I was in. And that was the moment that you could start moving, because faith, I'm going to say it again. Faith alone ain't going to get you there. I hate to say it. Talent is not enough. Faith is not enough without works, because everybody going to say, oh, Lord, Lord. But how many are going to be turned away because there were no works with their faith? And works without faith is dead alone. I'm breaking bread right here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to send us, because I'm a student / coach. I was telling Q, I'm a student / coach myself. I don't have this thing all wrapped up. I'm learning and I'm growing with you. So these same 5 questions that I'm giving to you, I'm writing them down myself. Get your notepad, tell mom and them, you better get them. He about to hit these 5 questions. And I want you to spend time with these 5 questions. I want you to allow these 5 questions to marinate, because as you begin, oh my goodness, I feel this with everything in me. As you begin to grow into what you've been called to do, your answers to these questions will continue to evolve on breaking bread. And as they evolve, you evolve. Their mindset is characterized by exerting the minimum amount of effort. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Camel Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to find what we're meant to do. Number one, 5 questions to answer before walking into 2021. Get your notepads, get your pencil. Number one is, what do I want? What do I want? And when I'm thinking about what do I want, the great I am awakens our I am. I want you to answer these questions from an awakened I am. Don't be so superficial like the majority of mere humans would be. I want this car. I want this house. I want this money. Listen, all of those are resources. Trust me. Those things all those things will be added unto you as you figure out what do you want. When you think about what do you want, that question needs to spark dry bones on it. And can these valley of dry bones live? Yes, these bones can live. When you start writing your answer, you start meditating on what do I want? What is my value proposition to this earth? I am the motivational teacher to the masses, and I encourage, motivate, and inspire individuals to manifest that human capital upon this earth. What do I want? I help people manifest that human capital. There's no important capital than human capital, because when all of us were born, we were born with a purpose and a destiny where we fit in this earth from the Almighty God. That's what I do. What is your preposition statement? What do you want? This big idea, it can be your personal and professional idea, life. Does this idea inspire you to be better? What do I want? What do I want? If you cannot clearly articulate what you want, you will always be playing from a position of just guessing. And I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And there's nothing wrong with doing things as long as you're doing them in faith, believing that you're moving in the direction you should go. It's about it. What do I want? It has to pull me. Check your boy out now. What I want it has to draw me. It has to attract me. It can't be something that I got to use willpower and I got to push myself to, or like losing weight. Yep. I've already started seeing the post on Facebook. I'm starting to see them on Instagram. People are already talking about their New Year's resolution to lose weight. I want to lose 15 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not a pull. That's not a gravitational pull. That's a push. That's going to require you to have willpower. But when you say, I want to manifest the temple that God gave me before the foundation of the earth, or I know this body that I live in right now today isn't the one that was designed for me to carry out the purpose of which I'm supposed to do on this earth, that carries a whole nother meaning. Like my success is tied to me being able to manifest a body or have the wind or being able to speak 4 and 5 times a day, 15, 20 times a week. What God has put me to earth is tied to me having the right body. That's a whole different conversation. I need to lose 15 pounds. I need to lose 15 pounds. I'm like, no, that's a push. That's not a pull. But knowing that what I got is tied to what I'm supposed to be doing, that's a gravitational pull. Like I attract that. I attract that. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We can't be lukewarm and what we want. And I'm telling you to talk from an awakened I am, because what most of us would do, see, I know a lot of people listen to me. Like, some people you have to tell not to be so prideful. And the people that listen to me, I have to tell you to pump yourself up. Make it so big that there has to be room for God to work. I got some people chiming into this conversation. Q said, even Jesus read the older Bible as a child. He read, we got to get that personal development. Vaniqua, I want to continue strength and knowledge to be able to keep grinding. There's no end to what I want to accomplish. I love it. And you said is right. What you said is right. It's all according to the power that, boy, I just broke bread. I didn't even know I was going there. It's all about according to the power that worketh in you. The more you get to worketh in you, the more you can express it externally and attract what you want. I just broke bread right there. I didn't even know I was doing. It has to pull you. It has to make it so big that you have to include the great I am in order to manifest it. And I think and this is just me, I think you should have 30-day goals, 60-day goals, 1-year goal, and a 5-year goal. And I'm not talking about just, you know, lagging measures. I'm talking about with leading measures. If I want to lose weight, this 30 days, I'm only going to have 3 cheat days. So that means out of all the rest of the days, I gotta eat right. And I'm gonna put my cheat days on the calendar before I start. I'm breaking bread right now. And I got to monitor not what the scale says, but I'm monitoring leading behaviors where how many calories did I eat versus how many calories did I burn? See, we have to be that intentional about what our goals are. We have to break them down to the behavioral level and not just look at them as a big goal in the sky. And I think that's what most of us do. I want to be CEO of a Fortune 100 company, or I want to start my own daycare, or I want to be a mogul in this area. And we have this big goal, but we don't have any small behaviors that we do daily in order to accomplish that big goal and whatever our time frame is. That's why I'm a motivational teacher to the masses. See, I can talk to that deity, but believe you me, I can talk to your humanity too. And that's the challenge with, like Vanique was saying, most of the stuff we listen to, can I balance the physical with the spiritual? And that's where most people struggle. They can't balance the two. In order to in order to attract everything on earth that belongs to you, you have to be able to balance the spiritual, because I have to attract it from there, but I have to do the physical work in order to see it in the natural. It requires that both. That's why you can see some people work hard, like my granddaddy did his whole life, and not get the manifestation from his hard work. And then you can see somebody who go to church their whole life and die on the front pew and ain't got no more than they did the first day they went in there, because they didn't learn how to balance the spiritual and the natural. And that's why your boy, the motivational teacher, is here. And today I'm working with that natural. Start building behaviors. Most people talk about it, but they don't carry out the plan. You know why? Because it requires work. It requires intentionality. It requires that I got to get up off my blessed assurance and I got to do some work. I mean, one of my favorite scriptures says you have to devour in the morning and you divide in the evening. Boy, y'all taking me in a whole nother place. You got to devour in the morning and then you divide in the evening. What does that mean? That means in the morning, I got to wake up like the lion looking for the gazelle, because the 75-year-old version of Anthony is depending on the 40-year-old version of Anthony to go out and devour. So when I'm 75, I can divide. Boy, I just broke bread. What do you want? What is going to pull you into the ultimate place? That's question number one. What do I want? You need to be able to clearly articulate it. We used to call it, when I was in insurance sales, we used to call it an elevator speech. You should have in 30 seconds where you can clearly articulate what you want from this world, from this earth. In 30 seconds, you should clearly articulate what you want. If Tyler Perry, or if somebody, I don't know, if Marie Callen, if you got a restaurant or a daycare, whatever it is, if they came and asked you, what can I do for you? Could you articulate it without stumbling and stuttering? That's very important, ladies and gentlemen, because that tells me what you believe about you. When Kobe Bryant went into the NBA, Kobe said, I want to be better than Mike. He clearly articulated what he wanted. Now, it's questionable whether he did or he didn't, but he put forth the work in order to do it. Can you clearly articulate what you want? That's the challenge. And don't be afraid to articulate it. Faith without works are dead. Have faith enough in what you believe you want in order to speak it, in order to write it, in order to revisit it daily. I just broke bread. If you don't get anything else out of me tonight, if you can just do that right there before 2021, clearly write down and articulate what you want. And then going into 2021, I know I did a lot of things working with your deity in 2020. Well, I talked to, I listened to 3 of my YouTubes today, Chosen versus Called. Man, 6 inches. I listened to those today and they encouraged me all over again. I thought about it. I done a lot of work with your deity. Now it's time to get down to this humanity. What do you want? Clearly articulate it. Question number 2. Why is this important to me? Why is this important to me? If you don't have a strong and compelling why, when waves and wind comes, when the storms of life come, or the storms of business, when they come, you will be tossed to and fro because you don't have a strong and compelling why. I love when one of my greatest role models, when Jesus, for this cause have I come into the world. What cause have you come into this world? Until you can clearly articulate what cause have you walked upon this earth? Man in the mirror, that was off the chains. Vanika said she was getting too much information from different sources. I always said it. I got my big three. Anything outside of my big three, I don't really usually mess with it because you get taking too much information from too many different sources. It changes your perspective. Then you don't know how should I be going or coming or whatever. And that's why I said the challenge is, man, I'm telling you, I'm in this industry. And I go to church. I go to church, all that good stuff. I believe in all fellowship. I believe in all that stuff. But I think the challenge that most people have, Vanika, and I'm included, is how do we balance the spiritual and the physical? How do we balance the relationship? How do we balance all of those? And I think that's what a lot of people miss it. I think motivational speakers alone are so heavy on the do, and then I think the spiritual leaders are so heavy on praying and fasting that if there is no middleman, no middle ground, nothing would be accomplished on both ends. If I just pray, and don't ever do anything in the natural, it's never gonna come to pass. And then if I work all in the natural, or all in the natural like my granddaddy did, so I got calluses in my hand, and I still don't attract what's supposed to be mine. There's a balance in there. There's a balance right there. And these 5 questions help us draw the balance of where I need to be. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Boy, these 5 questions help me draw the balance on who I need to be and what I need to be doing to attract God's best for me. Boy, that's strong right there. I'm gonna have to break that down later on. Why is this important to you? And when I ask you why is this important to you, the great I am strengthens your I am. Let's not think of this as a pagan would, or let's not think of this as a mere human would. Let's think about this as one who's been awakened. Why is it important to me? It's so important to me that I motivate the masses because I know ultimately my lot in life and my legacy is tied to what God is what He gave me to do. You all are a part of my legacy. I want to not to add pressure to you. You all are part of my legacy. It's just not my kids or my wife or my people that work with me right now that I manage and I lead and I inspire. You all are part of my legacy. I know my legacy is tied to waging war on mediocrity in as many ways as possible. And our nonprofit organization is tied to my legacy. My basketball teams is tied to my legacy. In all, I'm doing it 4 or 5 different venues and different avenues, but all of them are helping individuals realize their human capital. Whether you're 6 or you're 46 or you're 86, I'm doing it in 5 different ways across all different spectrums to help individuals manifest their human capital. It does not change. That's why it's important to me. Yeah, I share responsibility in your success. I do. I am that engaged into what I'm doing that I see your success as our success. I see your, we don't believe in failure. I see your missteps as part of my missteps so we can all learn and grow from it. That's why I love Vanika listened for a long time and then give as much information about herself as she did today. I love seeing this stuff because it's helping us grow. It's helping us grow. And that's what it's all about, having a community who I'm open, man. Like I told y'all the other day, my 11-year-old corrected me. Ladies and gentlemen, none of us have it all together, but together we save each other from making some of the same mistakes that we've had. Why is this important to you? And let's not make it about material things. The great I am has awakened your I am. For what purpose? For what purpose has he awakened your I am? I read the other day, Tyler Perry has made, I can't remember the number, like multiple millionaires. Multiple millionaires are gleaning from his blessing of what he did. I'm about to break bread. My question is, it ain't about what happens to you. It's about what happens through you. How can God funnel resources through you? How do you serve him as a conduit? In which area do you or are you a conduit for the kingdom? Why is this important to you? I can answer mine real easy. For me, my life is about legacy. It's about long after I'm gone that there's something still here to say I was upon this earth. I'm telling you, man, my number one Ace Boone Coon, my number one, Jesus changed the world in three and a half years. Martin Luther King, he changed the world with his words. Mahatma Gandhi changed the world with their words. Nelson Mandela changed the world with his words. It is a passion of mine. It is a part of who I am. I want to leave the same legacy. I come in their same footsteps, but I got to do it the way God has given me to leave a legacy. And the one thing I love about those men, they never knew that, they never saw the complete um, manifestation of their impact. We're still talking about those men today, and they never saw the complete manifestation of the impact. I would have loved for Martin Luther King to see Barack Obama walk across that stage. I would have loved to see what his response would have been to see Barack Obama be named the 44th president of these United States of America. I would have loved to have seen, for Martin Luther King or Malcolm X to see Kamala Harris now as the VP. I would have loved for them to see that, how LeBron single-handedly or how some of these NBA stars single-handedly brought in the Black Lives Matter theme to NBA this year. And they making it where it matters. I would have loved to have seen what some of these people would have thought, because it's all tied to their work. It's like, what's working with you? Like what part of your legacy will outlive you? You will not know the full totality of what you've done while you're on earth, but what will outlive you? That's my question to you. That's why it's important to me. Why is it important to you? What's up, Paul? Thank you for joining us, bro. We're going to break their bread. Q said true legacy never dies. Bro, you just broke bread. True legacy never dies. Number one question, what do you want? Number two, why is it important to you? You got to be able to answer those two questions. Number three, and Vaniqua, you said it earlier, and I think this is where a lot of spirituality loses its savor at number three. What will you need to give up in order to accomplish 1 and 2? What will you need to give up to accomplish 1 and 2? Make no mistakes about this life in this earth. Make no mistakes about it. There are only a few things at a time that we can focus on. We got our faith, we got our family, we got our whatever relationships, whether it's sisters, siblings, whatever relationships you got on us, you got your career, or whether you got a business. There's only so many things that we can focus on in this time and during these times. Only a few things. So you got to decide like what you have to give up. Like Paul knows me, and he can vouch for this. I used to love playing basketball in leagues. I used to love playing 4 and 5 nights a week. I'll be playing basketball. And I mean, in leagues, like to the point my wife used to be angry that I was still playing basketball. But in order for me to accomplish where I am in this season of my life, I had to give it up. I hadn't played in a basketball league in 3 years, although I still enjoy it, but it's not connected to where I'm going right now. I enjoy playing basketball. I've been playing in leagues and playing competitive. It made me stay in shape, and I felt good about but I was investing too much time in an area where I wasn't going to get many spoils. I just broke bread. For some of you all right there, that's your word going into 2021. That's your word going to 2021. I'm not going to invest my area in places where there are no spoils, where there's nothing to be got. There's nothing with that answers 1 and 2. I can't invest my time in places where they don't answer 1 and 2. What are you willing to give up? League play basketball had to go. What are you willing to give up? I'm telling you right now, eating bad 5 and 6 days a week, eating hamburgers and pizzas and all that stuff 5 and 6 days a week, I had to give it up. I had to give it up. And my body needed to be conditioned to go the whole 24 hours. I had to give it up. I had to give it up. Vaniqua just said pride and fear. You got to give it up. You got to give it up. You got to let it go. And strength is carrying me through. You're going to get through it. But I like what you just said. I got to give up pride and fear. It's one of the things you got to give up. When I was in one of the lowest places that I've ever been in my life, I had been through a divorce, I had foreclosure, I had to give my car back, I had no money in my pockets, I mean, it was a rough time. And I sat there and I was sitting across the screen just like you are on one of my colleagues' computer. And I heard a guy talking about fear and self-preservation. I had to give up fear and self-preservation in order to sit in the seat that I'm in today. And I'm still overcoming. It ain't all ever present, but I had to give up fear and self-preservation in order to even get to this place I'm in today of becoming the motivational teacher to the masses. I had to walk away from it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going bad relationships. I love it. You're going to have to give that up. You're gonna have people that don't invest in you, or you don't invest in them. They're just there hanging out talking about the past. You got to give it up. You got to give it up. For some of us, it might be family members. I got to walk away from them. You got to give it up. What am I going to need to give up? I don't have time. And check this word out. I don't have energy to invest. Think about your time. Think about your energy as an investment. Your time and your energy is an investment. Think about it like that. If you had, $1,000 and you had to go invest it in stocks and bonds that's going to yield you results, you would not go look for the one with the lowest P&E. You would not go and look for the one that had the lowest P&E on it. Price ratio. You would not go look for the stock that has not performed the best in the last 10 years and say, I'm going to invest my money in this one. No, you wouldn't. You'll find something with a good history, a good track record, where I know if I invest that I can withdraw. That's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. If you got a bunch of relationships that you invest in and you can't, when you need to be withdrawn, you can't get anything. Wrong relationships. I was talking to a friend of mine who was just saying like, oh, this year has been so draining. Like this friend had that, this friend had that, this family member had this. And everybody was coming to talk to her about what all went wrong in their life. And now that she's drained, she can't go back to them because why? That's not the foundation of their relationships. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you got to invest. You got to, let me say it this way. What will you need to give up? You got to give up some things in your life in order to walk into true riches. You have to give them up. And for some of us, we might have to give up this picture of the house or the car or the things that I want around me. And I'm doing this for the things. You got to give that picture up. Things are attracted to value. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Things are attracted to value. Things are attracted to kingdom living principles. They're attracted to it, ladies and gentlemen. I know right now, I did a lot of stuff talking about your deity, but right now I'm talking about your humanity. You got to give some stuff up. You can't take all this baggage with you throughout the course of your life. Sometimes you got to be willing, like Nico said, to walk away from that negative relationship and walk away and believing that God has something better for me. My I am is awakened. Number 3, what will you need to give up? Number 4, who do I need to become in order to attract what number 1 is? Who do I need to become to attract number 1? Or let's say it this way. Who do I need to become to attract what it is? Whatever it is, whatever I want, who do I need to become? When I'm talking about who do I need to become, in order to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality. What I think, what I feel, my feelers, my choosers, my thinkers. I got to start changing some of that stuff up there. What behaviors do I need? That might mean that I have to completely, I talked about it, I need to completely engage in my relationship at home, or I need to completely engage at my job. It might not be what I'm supposed to be doing, but it'll be the thing that get me to what I'm supposed to be doing. It might mean that I might need to tell myself a better story about myself. That I got to tell myself every day I'm more than a conqueror, that I'm more than enough, that there's greatness deep down on the inside of me. I am special. I am the apple of God's eye. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. When God made me, he broke the mold. He has every hair on my head counted and measured. I might have to change the story I'm telling myself in order to attract what it is I want until I become it. All you are, and for lack, I'm gonna say this without being deep. You're a magnet. Yeah, you're a magnet. Now I can go talk about the quantum field and I go talk about your magnetic force and how you attract it. But you and your vibrations, you and your life, you are a magnet. You attract what you are. You attract what you are. Don't cry. Don't say woe is me, because the good thing is you can change what you are. I made myself a stockbroker. by passing a test where I had 30 days. I made myself a stockbroker. Whatever it is you lack in your life, you were created to be fruitful and multiply. You can make yourself that. Well, I had a lack of self-confidence, so I was attracted to the wrong kind of guy. Well, get your confidence level up. Well, because I got a bad relationship with money, my mom didn't have money, my dad didn't have money, I ain't got no money, I ain't never had, I got a bad, change your relationship with money. Do Dave Ramsey Money Makeover. Figure out what information you lack in order to change. Lean not to your own understanding. Your own understanding has naturally attracted you to what you have today. And even if you're happy with what you have today, you have to keep growing in order to attract all that the eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. That I came so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. In order to attract those things, you got to give up who you are today for a better version of who you are tomorrow. And that's all about behaviors. I just broke bread. Success, my team hear me say this, my work team hear me say this all the time. Success is predictable. It shows up in your everyday behaviors and habits. Aristotle said that we are what we habitually do. We are what we habitually do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. You want excellence? Look how it shows up in your everyday behaviors and what you do. Number 4, what do I need to become to attract it? I got to have better behavior. I got to send better signals. I got to improve who I am in order to accept God's best. The challenge with, I told you, there's an unbalance between what we get from the spiritual side and what we get on the natural side. If you want God's best for you in your life and you want the great I am to awaken your I am, there has to be a balance between what I do and what I believe and who I believe. The great I am is ready to awaken your I am. He's ready for you to attract maximum manifestation. And number 5, last but not least, let me hit these questions one more time for people that's popping on. Number 1, what do I want? Number 2, why is this important to me? Number 3, what am I willing to give up to get it? Number 4, who do I need to become to attract it? And number 5, what will you do when adversity hits? What will you do when adversity hits? You got to ask yourself that question. And you have to ask yourself that question in the beginning. So when adversity hit, you can go read what you wrote earlier in order to see where you were at that time. You have to be willing. Believe you me, just as sure as you sit there and you answer, what do you want? Adversity will hit, and it's going to require you to revisit your number 2. Why is this important to me? And this is a challenge with most of us. And when adversity hit, we somehow believe that this thing is not meant for us anymore because it became a little bit more difficult to attain. We say, man, it must not be my time, must not be my moment. Not necessarily true. Adversity offers valuable insights. Adversity tells you more about you than it does the situation. Life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I respond. Embrace adversity as a chance for opportunity. Ingenuity kicks in. Right now, look at Grubhub. Right now, look at DoorDash. All of those stocks, right now, look at Zoom. All of those stocks are hitting record highs right now because of adversity. They took this opportunity and said, man, I'm going to deliver a better platform. StreamYard, they delivering a better platform because of the coronavirus. When adversity hit it, they saw it as a chance for new opportunity. My question is to you, when adversity hit, do you see it as a chance for new opportunity, or do you sit back and think, okay, this must be the end of my road with this ordeal or in this moment in time? How do you see adversity? You got to start answering that question right now. What will you do when adversity hits? Embrace adversity as a chance for opportunity and never give up. Somebody holler at your boy and never give up. The Q said the Lord authors tribulation. It's all a part of your call. Man, I did Call versus Chosen 5 months ago. If you have not, go listen to that on my YouTube page. I listened to it today twice, and I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. Even the ones that were chosen had to go through moments of discomfort. They had to go through where it revealed Elijah in all his power and all his authority. He was hiding. He was hiding. This dude he saw 300 prophets slayed, but he was hiding because he thought he was the only one out there and crying and whining and complaining. She trying to get and complaining and blink twice. Bam, bam. Boy, look at you. It's a cloud of witnesses around you. What will you do? What will you believe when adversity hits? Boy, man, good God Almighty, I feel that with everything in me. When you know, boy, when you know the motivational teacher to the masses, you got a word in your mouth that is really that the masses need, but you don't see the masses. What will you do when you go and you try to get a speaking engagement and they go with some, they say, okay, no, they call you back and say, no, we don't want you, we want somebody else now. This person now confirmed, and you were their backup, and you didn't know you were their backup. You thought they were their number one. When they got a confirmation from somebody they wanted, they said, no, never mind. You ain't what we really want. What will you do when adversity hits? I just broke bread, because that happened to me. I just broke bread. And will you double down on your fishness? Will you double down on your doggoness and say, man, I know opposition is fighting me. That means I got to keep pushing and be a little bit stronger. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We got to man up. There is something greater. There is something greater. And if you start going wishy and washy at the first sign of adversity, ladies and gentlemen, that tells me more, that should tell you more about you than it does about that thing. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond. A bonus question. Number 6. And my wife tells me I need to do this all the time. How will you reward yourself? When you've done all those things, you've overcome and all this stuff, how will you reward yourself? You need to write that down right now, because I think I'll be honest. I think part of the problem with a lot of us that are trying to do something greater than what we've ever seen done in our family, that we don't stop and smell the roses and pat ourselves on the back and say, thank you. Number one, give gratitude to the great I am, but then say, okay, thank you for what you've working with me. And we go back and we chart our growth and we look back. The one thing I love about this motivational speaking and me being doing this for a time, I could go back and listen to my old YouTubes. I can go back and listen to my old Facebooks from 5 years ago, and I can see the growth that is in my life. And when I do it, I like to sit down and I show gratitude to God, the great I am, for awakening my I am, because in him I live, I move, and I have my being. Nothing that I do is of my own strength. It's because he's strengthening me to be able to do what I do. And that's why I say there's no such thing as pride and arrogance when the great I am is strengthening you. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 could be what you wanted. It could be what you wanted to be. Telling my story to encourage others. And I think sometimes that's a challenge, man. Like we feel bad about what we've been through, but that's the very thing that God wants to use in order to awaken somebody else's I am. Like you look at it's because of necessity that most companies start, or most inventions are because of necessity. And sometimes telling our stories is a part of healing for us as well, because we've kept this stuff in for so long that it's called this ease in our body. And now we just need an avenue to be able to share my story. And you create, and now with social media, you can have an avenue to share your story. Ladies and gentlemen, don't discount what you have. I like that, Vanika, what you just said. Don't discount what you have. Don't discount what you have. Go into 2021 with a clear, compelling, concise vision of what you want. I just gave it to you. And anything worth having, I love that, Vanika. Anything worth having is not going to be easy. It's going to cost you something. That's why number 3 is, what will you need to give up? Greatness demands everything. It will never go on sale. Let's go into 2021 with a new heart and a new mindset. And I'm taking the blinders off of me too. I'm putting my 2020 in my rearview mirrors. I'm learning from what I went through, but I'm looking to lean not to my own understanding. I'm looking to move in such a way that the great I am is leading and guiding me, but I'm working like it's all on me. I'm working like it's all on me, ladies and gentlemen. And I think these 5 questions will give us direction on where we need to spend our time and our resources in 2020, 2021. I told you, I spent a lot on your deity in 2020. 2021 is going to be about execution, because we can't just live in the clouds and think God is going to, like some God in the sky is going to do this stuff for us. That's why I say the great I am is awakening your I am. It's according to the power that works in you. If there is no power working in you, you have no results around you. But why would you have a form of godliness but deny the power thereof? It's according to the power that works in you. Well, I've been going to church all these years and my power is high. No. Is it working? That's the key word. Is it working in you? Is it working? Not knowledge without action is just knowledge. We need actionable knowledge where we can be boots on the ground. It's according to the power that works. WORKS. I went to school to be a special ed teacher. So works is a verb. That means it's actionable. It's something for me to do. I have to work it out. It's according. Man, I ain't giving no lessons today, but according to the power that works in you. If you have no power that's working, if you got knowledge and it's not working, it's null and void. You're denying the power thereof. And right now, going into 2021, it's time for us to work it out. According to the power that works in me, I got to work that power from internal and make it come external. Like I knew this one wasn't going to be one to run around from, because like right now it's about execution. Right now it's about taking these 5 questions, writing them down on a notebook like the one I have right here. Get you one of these black binder notebooks and you write these questions down. You write these questions down and you write them down and you begin to answer these questions. And you revisit this notebook every day. Say, I'm an old coach. I'm an old basketball coach. And then we used to do these things. I used to draw plays down these books and all that stuff. And I could put this book, roll up, put it in my backpack, and I can always revisit. Sometimes, there's the technology stuff, the computer sometimes not charged, or sometimes I leave my computer at home. What was number 4? Good question, Sheila. Number 4 was, who do I need to become to attract it? Who do I need to become to attract it? Number one, what do I want? Number 2, why is it important to me? Number 3 is, what do I need to give up? Number 4 is, who do I need to become to attract it? Number 5 is, what will you do? You already need to have your adversity plan out. And when you see adversity, the first thing you need to do before you respond is go back to what you just wrote. What will you do when adversity hit? Because I'm telling you, it's 10% about the external and 90% about the internal. Number 5, what will you do when adversity hit? And then I gave you a bonus one. And number 6, how will you reward yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a phenomenal time. I'm wishing you a prosperous. No, let me change that. See, I told you I'm a player / coach. I'm not wishing you anything, because I know that it's according to the power that works in us. That work, the great I am is strengthening our I am. I ain't wishing you no prosperous 21. I'm asking you to work a prosperous 2021. It's according to the power that works in us. It's all about being. It's all about being. Be the person that you need to attract what God has already given us. Thank you all for spending time with me today. Thank you, Elke, for spending time with me. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Vaniqua. Had several other comments. Thank you, Q, for taking some time as I popped on here. Thank you, Mom, as I popped on here. I see Paul on here as well. Thank you, Paul, for spending time with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this life is not as complicated as we make it. It's not as complicated as we make it. Let's simplify life in 2021. Let's simplify life in 2021. Let's bucket these things. I say bucket. Let's put our life in 4 buckets. The buckets that you find that are most important. And this is just extra stuff. Faith, family, career, whatever you want to be. Bucket your life. And let's find out what behaviors can I improve in those 4 areas. And it's going to lead to maximum manifestation in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have been phenomenal. You all have a wonderful afternoon. Remember, I am a John Maxwell certified speaker trainer coach. Get at your boy if you're trying to get to the next level of life. And we're going to start even in 2021. We had a training that we were supposed to do. It's supposed to be yesterday and today, but one of my partners had COVID and we was unable to put all this stuff together. So, but coming in 2021, we're going to create avenues for you all to be able to, like these questions. We'll create avenues where we can sit down, maybe via Zoom, but if you're close to me, we'll meet somewhere when all this COVID stuff, and we'll start creating these things together, because I believe that there's strength in numbers. I believe one is too small to do anything for God. Even Jesus had 12 disciples, and one of them went with him. So we're gonna start creating more opportunities for us to be able to fellowship together. And I know Elke's on here. That's one thing I love about Set IE and the Circle of Champions, that created an opportunity for us to get to know more people who are aligned and moving in the same direction, where we could be resources for each other. And we want to create that. So thank you all for spending time with us on this New Year's Eve. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. I'm out.